was the case wherein we may get the question for the maximization of profit. Assign one worker to one job to maximize the profit. When maximization case is there, as I told you, we need to convert maximization into minimization. That is profit matrix into cost matrix. To convert profit matrix into cost matrix, the same procedure we need to follow here also, as the highest value among the total matrix, the highest value we need to take, and we need to subtract all other elements from this highest element. So the highest element is 42. So from this, if you subtract all the elements, you will be getting the resulting matrix is the cost matrix. So 42 minus 42, 42 minus 35, 20 minus 28 minus 21, like that. You'll be getting 0, then
7, 14,
7, then 14, like that. That is the next matrix we can see. This is what we need to do. The problem of maximization type, convert into a minimization by subtracting all values from the maximum value of 42. Subtract, the new matrix will be in this format. Right?
yes, sir.
So this is the question for you to solve it by Hungarian method. Solve with the Hungarian method, what we used to do, the 2 steps we need to follow first.
Row reduction first.
Right. Row reduction, then column reduction.
Column reduction.
Then assign
the job.
Right. In the same way, we need to go through it for this question also.
Okay.
But when we are not getting the solution, what
We need to do?
We need to go through
Hungarian method.
Yeah, in the same way, Hungarian method only. So first, we need to convert into the cost matrix. This is 0, this is 7. 40. 21.
0, 0, 5.
This is how much it is. 42 minus 30.
Sir, 12.
Sorry, 12. 12.
18. 17. 17. 22. 22. 22.
16 minus 16. 26.
26. 21. 27. 27. 30.
Right. Cost matrix.
Then row reduction.
Row reduction. Row reduction. Go with the row reduction. What are the values we get? So row wise reduction, the first row will be as
0.
It is, there is no change.
Yes, sir.
So 7, 14, 21.
21.
Whereas your
12.
12 is the least, so 12 minus 12 becomes 0.
0, 5,
5,
10,
10,
15.
Here also the least is same, the values are same, right?
Yes, sir.
And this here the least is again 18, so
0, 18, 4,
4,
8, 12.
row reduction, then column reduction if you go.
0,
Right. Here the column will be saying 0. There is no change in all
change,
columns. The second one, the least is 4. So this
7,
becomes 7 minus 4 is 3, 1, 1, 0. All right. In the next column, 8 is the least. So 14 minus 8 is 6. Then 10 minus 8 is 2, 2. Here the least value column wise is 12. So 12 minus 21 is 9. 9, 3, 3. So row reduction and column reduction, we made it. Right. After doing all these things, we need to assign it. To assign it, what will search? Row wise single zero. If single zero is there, we can assign it here. The assignment can be made it here. When row wise we assigned, then column wise we have to make it cancel zeros. The other zeros will be cancelled. Right.
yes, sir.
So to cancel it, cancel all other column by zeros.
Only one assignment.
Yes, what you said. One assignment,
Only one assignment.
but there is another assignment also there.
Hmm.
Because row wise we have gone. The second row, third row, there is no assignment. So
Yes,
fourth
sir.
row, there are 3 zeros. You can't assign it.
Yes.
What to do? To column wise.
Only the
First column, there is no single zero. Second column, there is
one
a single zero.
single
We
zero.
need to assign here. So to assign it, we need to consider this. Here and for this zero. Whereas other zeros in the row wise, we need to cancel.
Cancel.
Right.
Yes, sir.
This zero get cancelled and get cancelled. Like this, only 2 assignments are made, but we require 4 assignments.
4 assignment.
So what to do when there is two zeros, two assignments only. First, what I told, row wise, whichever
No,
row is not
not
having,
allocated.
yeah, not having an assignment, make a tick mark for that.
Tick mark.
Okay, this
Yes,
row
sir.
is not having an assignment.
And
This row is
zero.
not having assignment, right?
Yes,
In
sir.
these rows, where do you find the zeros?
Row
Zeros
1
is
and row
only
2.
in the
Row
first
1 and row 2. Call.
in the column wise.
Yes, sir.
So in these rows, the zeros are in the column by the first column. So there we need to make a tick mark, right?
Yes, sir.
After making a column by tick mark, see in this column, any assignment is made. The first row there is an assignment.
Yes, sir.
So in that row, we need to make a tick mark, right? Column wise,
Yes, sir.
after making the mark, what we need to do, we need to see that is there any assignment in this column. It is there. In the first row, there is an assignment. So first row also we have made a mark. So after making a tick marks for this, what we need to do first, row wise, wherever is not marked, there you need to draw a line. Wherever it is not marked, you need to draw a line. So where it is not marked in the fourth row, it is not marked, right?
Yes, sir.
So fourth row, draw a line. So one line we have drawn. Next row wise, there is no other rows are left over, so all are marked only. Only one row is not marked, so there we draw the line. Column wise, wherever we marked, that column only we need to make a line. Are you getting my point now?
Yes, sir.
So after drawing these lines, what you need to do, you need to see unmarked cells. We need to search the least value. The least
1.
value in the unmarked is 1. This 1 is subtracted from all these cells wherever you are not finding out the line. Wherever you are not finding the line, there you need to subtract and you need to add in the intersecting point. Intersecting point, you need to add whatever the number we are subtracting. Where on the line, nothing is to be done. You should not do anything on the line, whatever is there. Okay. So what to do here? We'll write all these things on the next cells. Now the new values will be, here it is 0, right? Here we need to subtract 3 minus 1 is 2, 6 minus 1 is 5, 9 minus 1 is 8. The next 0 as it is, no change. 1 minus 1 is 0, 2 minus 1 is 1, 3 minus 2, 1 is 2. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
0 as it is, there is no change on the line. 1 minus 1 0, 2 minus 1 1. Whereas in the D, here there is an intersecting point, so instead of 0, we need to take 1, add 1, whichever subtracted. Then it is a 0. Here also it is a 0. Here also it is a 0. Now we got a new table after doing all this procedure. Now again we need to assign it wherever we are finding out a single 0. So first row, first column, we have
Column.
one single 0 we are finding out. We can
Second row, second column.
no. When we are assigning here, we, we need to cancel these things, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you cancel cancel this 0. Again, the next 0 also to be cancelled. And next we have a 1, so we can't cancel it. So row wise we allocated, so column wise we cancel. Then in the second row, we can't go directly because there are 2 zeros, 1 was cancelled, 1 is left. Third row also we can't go, fourth row also we can't go. At the first time. Column wise if you search, the second column 3 zeros, third column single 0. Here we can assign it for the second time. The second column wise. When we come back with the second time as a row wise, then we can assign this row. At the first time we can't. Here column wise, if we assign here, this 0 and this 0 get cancelled. So we need to cancel this 0 and the second 0 and the row wise 0 is there here. This 0 also to be cancelled. Now column wise is finished. Now row wise we can go. We can go for the second row. We can assign to this. So when we assign to this, this is assigned.
Sir, here two options are there. Second row is there, third row is there. Which one should be first?
First row wise, which row is appearing, that row need to be assigned.
Means B.
B only. B is assigned means C get cancelled. Right? So this will get
Yes.
cancelled. So how many assignments we got? We got only 3 again. Again, we need to go through the same procedure what we did here. Where we didn't get the assignment, in which row we didn't get the assignment?
C.
Row C. So make a tick mark for this. This row we didn't got the assignment. So in this row, where do you find the 0? There are 2 columns.
Two columns.
Here is no assignment. Here is no assignment. Right?
Yes, sir.
So in these 2 rows, we don't have the we have a zeros in this one. In these columns, if you see in this column, where do you find the assignment? In the first row, it is an assignment. So make a tick mark for that. Again, in the second column, if you see, where is the assignment made? The second. Column wise, wherever we marked, in that row wise, if you search, the assignment is there, means we can make a tick mark for that. Right? Now we need to draw a line. Draw a line is also first row wise. Row wise, if you see, there are 3 rows have been marked the tick. Fourth row did not mark the tick. So fourth row only we need to draw a line. We need to draw only in the fourth row. So here we are drawing a line in the fourth row, row wise. Column wise, if you see, the column wise we need to draw wherever the marked 1. So first row is marked, so first row we need to draw the line. And second row is also we marked the line, so draw the line for the second also. So there are 3 lines because 3 assignments are made. So like that only we'll be getting 2 assignments, 2 lines, 3 assignments, 3 lines. Okay, like that only we'll be getting. Anyhow, now the unmarked area or unassigned area where the lines are not there, there we need to search again the least value. So again the least value is 1. This 1 is subtracted from all these points, right? From all these cells, the least value is subtracted, and we need to add the intersecting point at this point and in this point. We need to add that 1 and all other values will be same. There is no change in the other values. Is that clear? Procedure we need to follow till we reach to optimal solution. When we'll be getting an optimal solution? Till we get all the assignments based on the number of rows and columns. So here the first 0 as it is, there is no change. Whereas 2 as it is, there is no change. Here 1 is to be subtracted, so 4 will be the value. Then here 7 will be the value. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Then second row 0. Then here also 0 because it is on the line. So here we need to subtract 1 minus 1, again 0. Here it is 1. Here also same 0. There is no change. 0. There is no change.
0.
Also
1.
0. It is
1.
Next, here there is a change
2.
happens. Here we need to add 1 means it becomes 2.
2.
Here
1.
it is 1. Here it is
0.
Here it is 0. Right? Now we need to make an assignment. Where to assign? The first row we can assign. So assignment is made here. Whereas these zeros has to be cancelled. So we need to cancel these rows. Zeros. Zero is cancelled. 0 get cancelled. Okay. The next row wise, if you search, there are 2 zeros in second row, third row, fourth row. Again, in the row wise is finished. Column wise, if you search, the first column is allocated. Second column 2 zeros. Third column 2 zeros, 3 zeros. Fourth column we have single zero. Here we can assign it. So when we are assigning, here column wise, right? We need to cancel the row wise zeros. So we have one single 0 here. This get cancelled. Right? Any doubt? Any doubt? Up to this is okay. Now we have row wise or a column wise. If you go, we are having 2 zeros on it. Then what we can do, anything you can assign. That is your arbitrary. You want to assign this, these 2 zeros get cancelled. No, I want to assign this one. Then these zeros get cancelled. The other 2 zeros get cancelled. Are you getting my point? If this is the case, any 1 0 can be selected first. I'm selecting the first one because first is to be allocated first only. So I'm assigning to this 0. When I'm assigning to this 0, these zeros get cancelled. Cancelling the other zeros, that is row wise and the column wise, the other zeros has to be cancelled. This get cancelled. Right? Then left over is only one single 0 that we can assign it row wise or column wise, we can say.
B is not single 0 column, single 0 row. Still we can assign.
This is single 0 only, no? Now.
Now before that.
Before that, yeah.
Row B
there
is
are
not
2
single.
zeros. 2 zeros row wise and the column wise also.
Hmm.
Row wise and the column wise, if you go, there are 2 zeros only. So then what we can do, any 1 0 we can assign it. You want to assign this, you can assign, or else this, or else C first one or second one, whatever it may be. So this is an arbitrary. It is upon you only, because anything if you consider, you will be getting the answer same. See, if I assign this, what we got an assignment A to 1, B to 2, C to 3, D to 4, right? No, I want to assign this one, B to 3, C to 2. Then also you will be getting the same answer. Because of that only you are getting the zeros in that way. If you go to the question, you can find out. A to 1 is 42, right? B to 2 is 25. C to D, C to 3 is 20. Then D to 4 is 12. This is one answer. Another one, A to 1, B to 3, if you go 20. Then C to 2 is 25. And D to 4 only 12. If you see the answer for both the things, any option if you select, the answer will be the same. That's why you got the zeros like that. It is an arbitrary. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So anyway, you'll be getting the same answer. So we have selected in that way. Answer is 99 for this also. Even for to go with that one, you'll be getting the same answer. 99. That is what your total. So the cost we can say. This is actually the profit maximization given. So this is the profit when we allocate one worker, one job. The answer is same 99 if you go with the B to 3 or B to 2. If I go B to 2, you are getting the same answer. B to 3 is also same answer. Because these two are equally the values are there. That's why you are getting the zeros in that way. So ultimately the allocation is made A to 1, B to 2, C to 3, D to 4. This is what the solution for this question. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Will you try another one? Try to solve the first question. That is more than enough. An office has 4 workers and 4 tasks have to be performed. Workers and the tasks differ in their intrinsic difficulty. Time each worker would take to complete each task is given in the effectiveness matrix. How the tasks should be allocated to each worker so as to minimize the total man hour. The number of hours are given to us. So A, B, C, D are the tasks. Workers 1, 2, 3, 4. So equal number of tasks, equal workers are there. So it is a balance assignment problem. You can assign and you can allocate the work, the task. Will you do it? The first one? Within 10 minutes it can be, or 5 minutes, within 5 minutes.
Yes, sir. Right.
You got the answer? One,
Yes, sir. A to 1, B to 3, C to 2, D to 4.
right. Here is the answer. You can see the first A to 1, B to 3, C to 2, D to 4.
Yes, sir.
Right. That is the answer. You can go with this other numericals also. You can take a photo of this and you try afterwards. That becomes practice for you to do this, to solve any problem. Right. Take a photo of this. Directly a photo. Click a photo. Your mobile, that is easy to. Can you able to do it? Anyone take a photo and forward to the other people. Okay. What happened?
Done, sir. Taken.
Next, this one. One EPC is there. Take a screenshots if you're on mobile. This one is also there, and one more slide is there where answer is also there. You can check your answers. Or PDF also it is there actually. It's also the second and third question. Assignment for it. This was given in the examination. Long back. Okay. Took the photo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Done.
This is the solution part for that. All the questions. Okay. So we discussed about the assignment. Right. We discussed about the block 1 and the block 2. We finished the block 1, block 2. We'll be going for the block 3.
Sir, I guess in block 2, primal and dual relationships were not completed, sir. You told you will tell in the last.
Primal dual, okay. Primal and dual, we have a program.
Actually, you told that their slides were not available, so you told you will tell in the last.
We discussed about the simplex method. We discussed 2-3 problems we did, right? This one we discussed, right? Actually, this was the slide. finding the dual of an LP model. Primal dual is nothing a big thing. The same thing what we did in the LPP problem. When taking the dual of a given linear programming, we refer to the given linear programming as the primal one. That means if the primal is a maximization problem, then dual will be a minimization problem and the vice versa. That is actually the concept. For convenience, we find the variables for the maximization problem to be z equals to some equation where x1 plus x2 equals to something will be there based on the variables. And the variables for the minimization problem to be, instead of z, we need to consider in the dual as w equals to as y1 plus y2, y3 like that. So that means it gives you an information that you have converted primal problem into a dual method. That is actually the concept here. Like finding the dual of an LP, a normal maximization problem may be written as like this. Maximize z equals to c1 x1 plus c2 x2 plus like that up to cn xn if the variables are more than 2. Subject to the constraints a11 x1 plus a12 x2. Those are the values we can say, coefficient of x1, x2, xn less than or equals to b1. Similarly, second equation less than or equals to b2. So the equations may be n number of equations. So that is what he mentioned as bm up to bm. This is actually a question given to you as a maximization of a particular problem as maximize z equals to. This is normally called as normal max problem, can be considered it as a primal problem. So if you find the dual of this maximization problem becomes minimization of w equals to. Instead of x1, x2, we need to consider it as the variables as y1, y2, yn. You can check here. Dual of the normal maximization problem is defined to be minimization of w equals to b1 y1, b2 y2 up to bm ym. So x becomes y, z becomes w. That is only the point here, where the coefficients are same as subject to a1 1 y1 plus a2 1 y2. Like that, greater than or equals to c1. There, in the maximization case, it was less than or equals to. In the minimization, it becomes greater than or equals to. That means the total primal problem is converted into a dual method or dual problem, becomes totally reverse of primal problem. Primal problem is converting into dual means we are converting totally into opposite side. So converting primal into a dual and solving it. Like a minimization problem like 17, what we discussed, that has all greater than constraints and all variables non-negative is called as a normal minimum problem. If the primal is a normal minimum problem like 17, we define that the dual of 17 to be a 16. That means reverse. Its primal problem itself is given to us as in the form of a 17. 17, 16 is nothing but here you can find the 17 number on right side is a dual and 16 number is a normal maximization problem. If primal is 16, dual becomes 17. If primal is 17, then dual becomes 16. That is what he wants to see here. In the second point, if the primal is a normal minimum problem like 17, we define the dual of 17 to be the 16. So a tabular approach makes it easy to find the dual of an LP, a normal minimum problem is found by reading down. The dual is found by reading across in the table. That is the difference. We can say opposite to primal is a dual. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Say example illustration of the Dakota problem as named it as Dakota. It's not like that. It is like a name given. Maximize z equals to 60x1, 30x2, 20x3 subject to the constraints less than or equals 48, 20 and 8 where xj is greater than or equals to 0. Right? This is what actually a primal problem converting into a dual becomes how it becomes like this. You can see the question is converting, then reading down we find the dual to be 48y1, 20y2, 8y3 subject to the constraints. You can see clearly.
Yes, sir.
So small equations makes a lot this one.
Yes, sir.
Hmm?
Yes,
This is
sir.
normal problem. This is a normal problem. 60, 30, 20 is in the objective function. 48, 28 is in the subjective conditions becomes the objective 48, 28 and 60, 30, 20 is greater than or equals to equations.
Okay.
Now to solve it, we need to consider dual problem equations or primer problem. Whatever he says, according to that, we can solve it. We discussed how to solve. Either it may be a graphical method if the variables are 2. If the variables are more than 2, we can go with the
Simplex method.
simplex method. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
You can check here also many LPs are not normal maximum or minimum problem. For example, maximize z equals to 2x1 x2 where x1 x2 is 2, 2x1 minus x2 is greater than 3, x1 x2 is less than 1. And that is the situation. When converting into a dual method, it will be like this. Minimum w equals to 2y is 2, 3, 1 comes. So finding the dual of the non-normal LP can be transformed into normal form. To place a maximum problem into normal form, we proceed as follows. Step 1 is multiply each greater than constraint by -1, converting it into is less than or equals to constraint. To multiply with the minus sign, automatically it changes. Step 2, replace each equality constraint by two inequality constraints, a less than constraint and a greater than constraint. Then convert greater than constraint to a less than constraint. Step 3, replace each yours variable, that is your variable x1 by x1, x1 minus x1, where x1 is greater than or equals to 0. So transforming non-normal minimum problem into a normal minimum problem. This you won't be getting it actually. Just simply to know what is primal and dual, what to do, how to solve it. Suppose an entrepreneur wants to purchase all the Dakota's resources, then the entrepreneur must determine the price he or she is willing to pay for a unit of each of the Dakota's resources. Then Y1 equals to price paid for one board feet of lumber, Y2 price of one finishing hour, one carpentry hour, Y3. And the total price that should be paid for these resources is W. The cost of purchasing the resources is to be minimized. That is actually the problem. Economic integration of the dual problem actually. In setting resource prices, what constraints does the entrepreneur face? For example, the entrepreneur must offer the quota at least $60 for a combination of resources. That includes 8 board feet of lumber, 4 finishing hours, 2 carpentry hours. Because Dakota could use these resources to produce a desk that can be sold at for $60. The same reason shows that the two constraints what will be. So the constraint and becomes an equation. This we can convert into a equation as minimize W equals to 60 is the actual X1 with a combination of the resources. So actually this is given 1 board feet of that was there in the module block 2 as simplex method, graphical method, FP method, transportation problems we discussed, assignment we discussed. Majorly we discussed in the block 1 and block 2, where the other blocks we are having hardly 2 modules, I think so. 2 topics are numerical problem based, where others are theory based. Shall we start the block?
Yes, sir.
Actually, queue, you know very well. Wherever you go, like in the banks or reservations or any other places to pay the bill or to receive an amount, to withdraw the amount, to deposit the amount in the bank, mostly you need to wait for your number. You need to wait for your number. You need to be in the queue so that you will be served after some time. So that was there long back. Now everything has been changed. Everyone is using somewhat OR technique to reduce the strain of the customer, the strain of the service provider who is serving it. So everything becomes an online nowadays because system will accept first come first service, right? So how do the system know that you have come first? So you need to take a token whenever you enter into the bank to get the service from the banker. So that queuing or queuing model has been introduced long back, and now it has become very much popular in every places where the system is applied to the computer. The procedure, we can say procedure to serve the customer or to reach the customer, they applied the technique. That technique is given to the computers. Computer is automatically accepting and giving the solution to the customer. So to make it easy, so what system they followed means the queuing theory is followed. That was there at long back in every places. A queue system consists of a group of customers waiting to be served and also the customer being served at a particular time. The variables affecting the system are arrival pattern or a process, service pattern or a process, number of service counters, queue discipline, customer behavior, and server behavior. So queue model is developed considering all these vehicles. Are you getting my point? A queue system is based on the different patterns also, which affects based on the availability. Like if you go to the D-Mart, where big mall where you can buy the groceries at any time, but when you want to come out with your groceries, you need to be billed. A billing system has to be done, and you must go to the counter to make a bill. So to make the bill, what the counters, if they keep only one counter, then it is highly impossible to serve the people, right? So the number of service counters will be there, even though you need to wait for your number to be served. So there also the queue system is applied. That queuing discipline, if you follow, then it is easy. Otherwise, it will become very difficult to serve the customer. So a queue model is developed considering all these variables. So that is only the point what we are going to discuss in this queuing theory. So many people have gave so many definitions. What is queuing theory? So Bose, the basic phenomenon of queuing arises whenever a shared facility needs to be accessed for service by a large number of jobs or customers. That is given by a Bose. Wolf, the primary tool for studying these problems is known as queuing theory. That is congestion. The congestions problems is nothing. The congestions primary tool for studying it is the queuing theory. Glenrock, we study the phenomena of standing, waiting, and serving, and we call this study queuing theory. Any system in which arrivals place demands upon a finite capacity resource may be termed as a queuing system. The study of the waiting time, length, and other properties of queues. That is math well given. The study of the waiting times, lengths, and other properties of queues is considered as queuing theory. So many people gave so many ways, but ultimately the word queue is mentioned, right? So when it arises, when there is a shared facilities needs for accessing the service of for a different people, a large number of people. So the application of queuing theory, mostly the queuing theory is applied in telecommunication. You know very well, when you dial a number to call anyone, it will connect, it must connect to that phone number only. Firstly, they used this queuing theory in the telecommunication. Then to control the traffic, they implemented this queuing theory. One after the other, the signal has to be released so that the traffic will go easily. Determining the sequence of computer operations is also there. Predicting computer performance. Health services, example, control of hospital bed assignment. Means when you go to the hospital, admission process takes a long time in the multinational hospital, multi-specialty hospital like Yashoda, Apollo. If you go to those type of hospitals, first of all, there won't be a bed available. At the time of COVID, it was very, very difficult. Now it is normally we can get it. Even though if you go at when there is service provider says there is no availability of that, so still you stay here, we'll see. whoever is vacating, those things, those bed or rooms will be allocating to the first come first service. So health services they applied, airport traffic they applied, airline ticket sales also applied, layout of manufacturing system is also applied. What is this layout of manufacturing system? Say when a product has been manufacturing with the different machines, one product. Like if you'll take an example of coconut oil, you can see the parachute coconut oil is manufactured with the different machines. You can see the news channels or the channels where they are giving as an advertisement that no one is no a human being is available in the factories to manufacture the coconut oil. So all the things have been done through machines. Means all the processes is done by the machine itself. So how can it be possible? That can be done if you make the machineries layout properly and giving the time to each machine to produce and do the process one after the other. Like coconut has to be crushed first, so crushing process is done on one machine. After getting the oil, that oil will be sent to the other machine to refine it. After refining, it has to be bottled. It has to be filled in the bottle with the other machine. After that, they need to pack it. They need to print it. They need to pack it. They need to check it. All this process is done by the machine based on the layouts and the time. That is nothing but the queue. They also follow the queue to do the process. That process is also done by the queuing theory only. So that layout, whatever we are seeing, that layout is made by the timings which has to be served on particular machine to produce the products. So nowadays, every manufacturing company is utilizing the same thing, which is a queuing theory, which is in a technique of operations research. Right? If we'll take an example of application of queuing theory in many retail stores in the banks, multiple line or multiple checkout systems will be there. A queuing system where customers wait for the next available cashier to make a bill. So we can prove using queuing theory that throughput improves increases where queues are used instead of separate lines. So there the application of queuing theory is applied. You can see here where customer arrives on a particular line, that is the first one what we see on the screen. They need to wait till the first customer go for service. There are three service centers: server 1, server 2, server 3. The customer will leave by going to any of the server first. If you're the person goes for server 1, the next one will go to the server 2, server 3. Then whenever a service has been completed, customer leaves, the another customer will go to that place. If the queue is only one, then it becomes very difficult. If you make a three queues, that is waiting line, then the people can serve it easily. That is what the difference here it is showing. The application of queuing theory is applied in the second figure. The first figure earlier it was there. Now, if you apply this queuing theory, you can see the difference appears every time. The persons waiting in a queue won't be waiting for a long time. If this queue is only one queue, then it becomes very difficult. So the system to satisfy the customer, they are making in this way. They are applying the queuing theory. So many people have given us so many methods. The chain theory for studying network, they give, we need to view the network as collection of queues, FIFO data structures. Anybody knows about the FIFO? Will be applied
First
in,
in, first out.
very good. This will apply mostly in the manufacturing companies where there will be a godowns, there will be a warehouses from where they need to supply the raw material to the production factories. So in the production companies, they need to supply from warehouses to the factory. They'll be applying the technique that is LIFO method or FIFO method. So LIFO, last in, first out, FIFO, first in, first out. So most of the time in the queuing theory, we need to apply first in, first out only. Those who come first, they need to be served first. Otherwise, the people will fight for their service. That we have seen in so many cases, in so many places. So queuing theory provides probabilistic analysis of these queues. Example, average length, average waiting time, probability Q is at a certain length, and probability a packet will be lost. So those are the places where this queuing theory is applied and studied, and finding out the solution for their queues. So standing in a queue, you can sit at home and you can do your service also. You can get your service nowadays because the internet, the system, and the softwares have introduced so that you can sit at home and you can get your service at your place only. Like if you go to the food court, means if you are hungry, you want to eat something, you can order through Swiggy or Zomato. There also you will be in a queue. Whenever you click a button to order it, at that time only your order will be placed and will be taken into consideration. That is also the queuing theory applied there also too. So you better. So most of the time that is. So model of queuing system, queue and the server. Queuing system using queuing models to describe the behavior of queuing system and evaluate system performance. If there is a one single server, then one queuing system only is applied. Then the characteristics of queuing systems. When you are applying a queuing system, you must have all these things. One, arrival process. That is the distribution that determines how the task arrives in the system. When you click a button, then only it is accepted. If that acceptance is done, means what? You are in the queue. You are in the process of queuing system. Then service process. The distribution that determines the task processing time, means how much time it takes to complete your process, complete your task. So to complete the task, it takes some time, and that time will be determined by the queuing system only, that is by the server process. So the service will be given. So the number of servers, how many people are there, based on that also. Total number of servers available to process the task is also another point. As I told you just now, if you go to the DMart, only one single server is there to take a bill or make a bill, then it is highly impossible. So the number of servers, how many people are there to serve the customers, based on that only we can decide who will be served first and who will be served next. So Kendall is the person who has given parameters to make a queuing theory or queuing system. So first 1, 2, 3 is given basically, and afterwards they have added 4, 5, 6 also. There are the 6 parameters in shorthand given by the Kendall. As first one is arrival distribution, 2 is service distribution, 3 is number of service. Apart from that, fourth one is considered as total capacity. If not specified, we need to consider it as infinite. Population size, if nothing is mentioned, infinite. Service discipline, is it first come first served or first in first out? That is FCFS or FIFO. That is the service discipline, which one you are following, first come first served or first in first out. Both are similar only, but there is a small changes based on the place where you are applying it. On that, it makes a difference. So Kendall is a person who gave 6 parameters in shorthand, as first 3 typically used and less specified. And after that, they'll be searching for the capacity, size, and service discipline. So all these 6 is mandatory to serve the people. What actually I want to say. And the distribution system requires this, the short what will apply in the method. M stands for Markovian, implies exponential distribution for service times and inter-arrival times. They're applying all these techniques actually. D, deterministic, example, fixed constant. Then EK, along with parameter K, HK, hyper exponential with parameter K, G stands for the journal anything for any purpose. These are the letters used while making the formulas. So for the distribution purpose, particularly, these will be considered. So Kendall used M only, M oblique M by 1 if it is a single service center, if it is single server. So Kendall notation examples we can say as he has given somewhat, noted as M oblique 1. When it is used when Poisson arrivals and exponential service, one server, infinite capacity and population. And they are applying FCFS, that is FIFO method, the simplest realistic queue. It is M oblique 1. 1 stands for one server only, where M, the capacity, and the population are unlimited. And the second point, M oblique small m, same, but M servers means what? The number of servers are known, means not only one, more than one servers are there, n number of servers. Then the third notation he made it is G oblique 3 oblique 20 oblique 15 oblique SPF. That is general arrival and service distributions, 3 servers, 17 queue slots, which is 20 minus 3, 1500 total job, shortest packet first, SPF. So these are all the short forms, abbreviations, notations, we can say, which will be used in the queuing theory. So That is to serve the customer. They use so many techniques, so many systems, so many things they applied. At last, somewhat they got it. That is applied in some places, not in every place. The different places, different queuing theory is applied. Queuing system is applied. So those are made notations by Kendall this way. M/1 oblique M servers where G/G/3/20/1500. What is this? They have given at the bottom. Generalizable and service distributions. 3 servers, 17 queue slots, 1500 total job, shortest packet first. That is actually the full form of that notation. So analysis, if you go M/M/1 queue system, given lambda, which is the arrival rate of jobs, packets are input link. So lambda stands for arrival rate, mu stands for service rate of the server, input link and output link. Then solve. To solve it, we have different letters for different purposes. Is L, then we can say average number in queuing system. And LQ, average number in the queue system. The queue average number is what? Average queuing system is what? Average waiting time in the whole system. Waiting time in the whole system is different. Average waiting time in the queue is different. So W and WQ, L and LQ. These are the symbols they'll be using it for the different solutions. Where it is clearly mentioned in your material also. Do you have your PDF or PDF sent by the university? Yes. People are there. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Do you have the PDF of OR sent by the university people?
What, sir?
Subject PDF.
No, sir. We don't have.
If you have, then it is better to go through
Are you
it.
asking about the textbook that the university people provide us?
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, some people are having the textbook, or some people are not having the textbook.
Textbook in PDF form.
Yeah,
It
in
is
PDF
PDF
form
form,
they're not
it is-
having, sir.
Okay. Is there with the university also. Anyhow, if you have a textbook, means everything is there in that one.
Yes, sir. We have book.
There you can find out all the things, whatever we are discussing in detailedly and easy manner also. Anyhow, we'll go with that one because this queuing theory description is much easier in the text, what I want to say. This is actually the queue model, which is given first as M/M/1, one server with the service rate and provided distribution rate are large. You can see mu is actually the rate which is given service rate, and lambda stands for arrival rate. L stands for what? Average number in queue system, and LQ average number in the queue. the difference. L is total system average time, and LQ is only in this queue how many are their average number of people. W, the whole system waiting time, that is average waiting time in the whole system. WQ is average waiting time in the queue particular. WQ is only in this system waiting time. W means whole system total waiting time after completing the service and getting out of it. That is the total W. W is different. WQ to get the service is different. L is different. LQ is different. You can see the difference. What is the difference? See, you are arriving it. You're standing in a queue. You got the time to get service. After completing your service, you'll come out of it. So from beginning to the end, totally is L and W. Within a queue is LQ and WQ. That is the difference here. One second. I'll come to PDF. Yeah, got that. Sharing it. One second. Can you able to see this?
Yes, sir.
Is there in your book? You can see here as different arrangement of service system. By structure of the service system, we mean how the service facility exists. There are several possibility as discussed below. A single channel, single phase system. Like an example, ATM center is an example for this model. Okay. So there is a single queue and single facility and departure after the service. This is single channel, single phase system. As the people will be in the queue, one after the other only, it will be served. One gone, then only the other person can utilize. That is a single channel, single phase. Second, service facility in a series. That means in this, when a customer enters, he gets one kind of service and that moves to the next station. and gets some service and then again moves on to the next station and so on and ultimately leave the system. For example, machining of a certain thing, like a certain steel item may consist of cutting, turning, knurling, drilling, grinding, and packing operations, each of which performed by a single server in a series. Means what? You are in a queue that is to be served first. So type 1, like cutting process is there. After cutting, then it goes to the turning, then drilling, then grinding, then packing. I told you, the process will be in the manufacturing concern nowadays. Every product, first it comes to first process, then it goes to the next process, then it goes to the next, like that, completely the manufactured and packed, then departure after service. So that is there in the second one. As third one will be a multiple parallel facility with single queue. That means in this model there is more than one server and each server provides the facility. For example, trains having more than one washer. That means what? From any of the service facility you can use it. So service facility 1, 2 or 3, departure of a service. Right? This is multiple with a parallel one. Next, multiple parallel facility with multiple queues, not single queue. If services are 3 services or 4 services, you are in a 4 service queues. So multiple queues, multiple facilities are there. You can departure after the service. This is another way, that is the reservation of railway tickets at the railway station is an example, where you are in a queue with the different facilities. The example for this you can take as a DMart service facility as a cash counters. The different cash counters, if we keep, then easy to serve the customer and customer can go easily. That is multiple parallel facility with multiple queues. Fifth one, multiple parallel series facilities with multiple queues. A series are there where we can go the different series like this. Means whoever comes, cabin and drugs at pharmacy. Some critical customers mostly need all types of services provided by hospitals. Right? That means what? The people will be in the queue when the service requires at the different time, like going for the blood test, urine test, x-ray, scanning, ultrasound. If that is the same situation for one customer, like in that way they need to wait for one service provider on a queue. After completing, again they'll be going for the next coming out of it. So all these things are there for different services by one customer. So like that, the cabin and the drugs at the pharmacy, which is having different things. So in that way, if you go, the who will be served at what time we want to know, that can be calculated for different systems. We discussed about 5 different ways: single server, single server with multiple queues, single queue, multiple queues, like that. All these things are the different arrangements of service systems. So when we go with these different systems, how much time requires to complete a customer's service? You can use this formulas to find out it. Say assumptions of single channel queue. We discussed the first point. This also we discussed already. Assumption in case of single channel queuing model with the Poisson arrivals and exponential service times. The single channel queuing can be fitted in situations where the following conditions are fulfilled. When a number of arrivals per unit of time is described by Poisson distributions, hence the mean arrival time is denoted by lambda. And the service time has an exponential distribution, that is average service time is denoted by mu. Then arrivals are from infinite population, and queue discipline is based on first come, first service basis, that is FIFO. Arrivals are independent of preceding arrivals, but the average number of arrivals does not change over a time. So there exists only a single service station. That is a situation. How to find out the waiting time, service time, and all those, these are the formulas. You can go through it. You can see the formulas given clearly. Can you able to see it? Single channel queuing model. Can you see the formulas? These are the formulas. Utilization factor or busy time or traffic density of a service system. How much the server will be busy. That busy time can be calculated as lambda by mu, which is denoted by P. Then idle time or probability that no customers in the system. No customers in the system. Idle time will be 1 minus lambda by mu. Then LS, that is average number of customers or units in system. Units is applied for manufacturing process, customers for the service stations, right? So average number of customers, LS, is lambda by mu minus lambda. Average number of customers, LQ, in the Q is lambda square by mu into mu minus lambda. This is particularly in Q, not in the system, right? Then average time a customer or a unit spends in the system, that is waiting in the system, total waiting time, average waiting time in the system is 1 by mu minus lambda. Average waiting time a customer spends in the queue, only queue, that is waiting time for the queue, is lambda by mu into mu minus lambda. And the probability that the number of customers in the system is greater than k, then lambda by mu to the power of k plus 1. These are the formulas you need to remember to solve any queuing theory related numericals. Even you can see the example problem below. Am I audible? Are you able to listen my voice? Able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So I want to confirm it actually. So this is what clearly the formulas. You can go through the formulas, note down and remember these formulas as simple as only in the mu into lambda only. So what is mu? What is lambda? Service rate, and you can see here lambda arrival rate, and mu is the service time, that is service rate. Those two are applied here. That will be given in the question. Like example 10, customers arrive at one person barber shop according to the Poisson process with the mean arrival time is 20 minutes. So arrival time, that is mean average arrival time is 20 minutes. Customer spends on average of 15 minutes in the barber chair. Okay, so 15 minutes and 20 minutes. So if you convert into per hour, then lambda becomes 3 customers per hour. Mu is 4 customers per hour. So one person at the barber shop is waiting, arrival time is 20 minutes. So how many customers will be there for arriving it? Arrival time will be 3 customers per hour. And the 4 customers per hour will be the mu. So if that is the case, probability a customer will not have to wait. Will not have the to wait means how much time is not waiting time. 1 minus lambda by mu, that is 1 minus 3 by 4, 0.25 will be the probability that the customer should not wait for service. L is expected number of customers in the barber shop. Lambda by mu minus lambda, that is 3 customers. 3 by 4 minus 3, that is 3 customers. And the expected time in the shop, that is waiting time in the system, totally 1 by mu minus lambda. Then in the queue, average customers in the queue is 2.25. Average waiting time in the queue is 0.75 hours. So simply substituting the values in the formula, you will be getting the values. Research. Nothing else, only formula based, but the formula is also based on the information. Is this clear? Yes. What happened? No one is responding. You can see the numerical part. The department store has a single cashier. During the rush hours, customer arrive at the rate of 20 customers per hour. Average number of customers that can be processed by the cashier is 24 per hour. And assuming the conditions for use of the single channel queuing model apply. What is the probability that the cashier is idle? What is the average number of customers in the queuing system, and the average time a customer spends in the system, and the average number of customers in the queue, average time a customer spends in the queue waiting for services. Find the probability of finding at least one customer in the shop. All these things you have very clear, that is based on your formulas only. These formulas only to be applied when it is a single channel queuing model. What happened? No one is responding. All are busy. All are having their lunch. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Having your lunch.
No, sir.
No, sir.
So no one is responding. I'm calling you people only. See, in the queuing model or queuing theory, most of the questions will be in this format. So you need to remember these formulas. What is there? The utilization time or a busy time in the system. idle time in the system, average number of customers in the system, in the queue, waiting time, average waiting time in the system, in the queue, and probability of the number of customers waiting for the service. So only these formulas need to remember to solve any question in the queuing theory for single channel queuing model. Will your exams will be offline or on online?
Offline,
Offline.
sir.
Offline.
Offline only you're going to write, means question paper will be giving you given to you to write the test, right? Write the exam.
Yes.
Okay. Not MCQ model. Whatever we discussed, all these things you need to practice, then only it is possible to clear your subject. I'm sure, because most of them people will think that yeah, you can do it in the examination and they'll neglect. But it is highly impossible to pass the subject in the OR and the examination, because most of the questions will be problem based only, that is numericals only. Theory is very less. I'll be sharing, or I'll be showing you in the next class how the question paper will be. That also I'll be showing you. Even if you go to the site, you'll be finding out previous question papers, but still, believe it or not, I don't know. But making it easy. If you see once how it will be. Okay. For the day, we'll stop here only. We'll discuss the other things, that is whatever we discussed. This once you go through your textbook also, if you have a text, right, that consists of somewhat numerical questions, problems also, you can solve it. If you have a doubt in that one, you can raise your doubts. Next class we'll discuss further in this block.
Okay, sir.
Radhakrishna sir. He's not there. Okay, good day. Bye.